Winters in Banaras is amazing. You know, all of a sudden, somewhere in the month of November, the weather changes, the water level recedes. That's the morning sun. We are at Asi Ghat, and people come here for all kind of activities. They come here for meditation, for prayers. Like if you see, there are people who are coming here to do their prayers and their morning rituals. There are pandits sitting over there. People are taking their Ganga Snan. Some people have come here to sit in the boats. So overall, it's an amazing atmosphere. The turn of events happen from Chhat Puja, followed by Dev Deepavali, and then finally, somewhere in the end of November or the beginning of December, this is the scene. Now at Asi Ghat, basically the Ghat complex has been divided into three parts. Or you can break it down into three parts. So one is this sand beach area, the riverbed area, where there are these platforms and where all the pandits and all are sitting. That's the water tower of Bhadoni Ghat. That's the end of Asi Ghat complex. This ghat has been divided into multiple sections. And if you notice one thing, the sun is over here. Sunrise is generally at 6 o'clock, but there is a heavy fog over here in this area, as you can see a little bit ahead. But as the sun rises a little bit, there is a soft warm light falling on the ghats. Otherwise, when the sun moves in this direction, it goes here and starts setting over here at around 4 o'clock. So this complete ghat complex comes under shadows, which is why it is very interesting and important, the morning photography, because the light falls directly on the ghat complex. So as I said, this place can be divided into three parts. First part is this area. Now since the water level has receded, this complete area was flooded a couple of months back. But since the water level has receded, people come here, they sit here, they walk around here. So this becomes one area. The second area is this one. That's the Asi Ghat temple in the background. And this is now the place for Ganga Aarti. So these are the steps where the people sit. Otherwise, when the water level rises, this Aarti platform shifts over there on top, below the umbrellas which are visible over there. So that's the reason why there isn't space for people to sit. But now that the water level has receded, all these steps are occupied by the people in the evening, and then there is this Aarti over here. So this is one part, and the temple which you see in the front, there are many hidden places behind this temple. So we'll go on an exploration for that also. That's the ancient banyan tree which has been mentioned in the Puranas, and the people do their puja over here. And that's the second Ganga Aarti spot. So this portion of Asi Ghat is again made into a platform. People can do all kind of activities over here. They come to do that. And this is the second Aarti spot. Now, beyond this, there is another stage over here, and there's a circular platform. So the Dev Deepavali program was made over here. The platform was made over here. Then there are two of these sheds. So like that, Asi Ghat in the morning time, there is a different scenario. In the evening time, there's a different scenario. So you have these two scenarios over here where you can enjoy the view of this place and also activities. And there are food stalls over there in the distance, so that becomes your tummy part of the whole experience. So all in all, morning time Asi Ghat is amazing. Now, the reason for this ghat to pick up, or the government to make all these arrangements, is that it is easily accessible. Being ghat number 1 and the southernmost ghat of Kashi, the government has been able to make roads, parking space, restaurants, hotels and all everything. So that's the reason why people easily come down over here. They park their cars and two-wheelers and then they access this ghat. That's Riva Koti and Riva Ghat. This is this was earlier part of Tulsi Ghat, but now this was part of Assi Ghat, but now it has been broken down into multiple smaller ghats. So this ghat over here, though it is part of the Assi Ghat complex, it has now been given as a separate name, Tulsi Ghat. And this is also a beautiful complex. It has got stairs. It's a smaller ghat as compared. There are 2 temples over here. And there are many temples behind this. The number one attraction, what you should look for at this ghat is the Rani Lakshmi Bai Memorial, which is just behind this. And there are a couple of akhadas over here behind. So those, and then there is Lohar Kund and the temple, which is very ancient and very famous. So here people are doing their bathing rituals. There are changing rooms over here for women. And this is the front face of the ghat. Now, what is done over here is, I won't be able to go to the changing area. So there is some kind of Ganga Aarti which is also conducted on this ghats over here. So behind, I was saying, there is this viewpoint. There's a research laboratory and a university over there. There's another viewpoint, but the third viewpoint over here, this is the best one if you're able to access it. Anyway, so this is a bathing area. As you can see, there are people doing their rituals. They're offering flowers and all these things. And this becomes the end of the ghat complex over here. Now the point to remember over here is that this portion of the ghat complex is separate from the portion in the front. That is the water tower, the Batoni water tower. And over here, the bathing or religious rituals are not permitted. In fact, tourists are not permitted in this space. However, they have provided for the ghat walk space that's here. Okay, another fascinating thing about this place is the photo shoots. So here someone is getting ready for the photo shoot. These are mostly wedding photo shoots. That's very interesting. He is adjusting the anklet on her feet. So that's the water tower complex. This is a very old water complex. It's a waterworks. These are the 2 main towers, but behind the towers there is this red building. That used to be the erstwhile water station. And now you have got a 3rd tower over here. So the water is taken from this river, this part of the river. It is pumped in, it is filtered, and then it is dispatched for the drinking water purposes. So as you can see, the complete area has been segregated because there are huge pumps over here. See, even if the water level has receded, there are strong currents in the water. If you can see, the currents are moving. It's only the boat people who are aware about these currents and they know how to navigate their boats. Nowadays, they also have powered boats, so that, but over here, there's an interesting phenomenon. Okay, this is Badoni Ghat, that's Janki Ghat. At Janki Ghat, I have noticed this interesting thing. See, the water comes here and it suddenly takes a curve over here. So there's a water bend over here, and because of this bend over here, the water is very deep. So there's a notice board given which warns people that the water is deep, and I've seen people sitting over here to catch fish also. So the water level over here is really, really deep. So that's the turn, that's the shallow end, and immediately after that there will be a very deep end. So here is the place where I was mentioning that the water level is deep. This is the spot where the people are bathing, and here is how the water flows. So the water comes straight, it hits the curve, and then it almost hits this point, which is why the steps are corroded over here. and that's how the water level is moving. That's Janki Ghat, and next to it is the Anandmai Ghat. Over here, last time when the water level had risen, of course now it's going to recede further. These staircase will be visible, but when the water level had risen, it had consumed all these steps, and it had almost gone to this portion. I'll just show you over there. Here. So this building or ghat or whatever it is, if you see the mud levels, this is the level till which the water had reached. So these gates are permanently locked. What has happened here is the residents of this building or the owners have decided that they will not use the ground floor anymore because too much of maintenance required. So the people stay on top, whereas this floor is left as it is. So the water level had reached here, this portion, it almost hit the stairs. Over there, the water tower, you can see the brownish portion, that was the water level till which it rose. That's almost half of the tower. So this complete area was submerged, and now the water has gone down till here. So that's almost what? At least 8 to 9 meters. So the best part about November is that towards the end of November, after these hectic events beginning 11th, so it starts with Chhat Puja, as I mentioned earlier, Chhat Puja, and then Dev Deepavali. So by the time all these events are over, in the last week of November, you have the Ghat Walk area completely ready. That's the Ghat Walk area. And you have got the portion cleaned up. After the humdrum and the activity of Assi Ghat, all of a sudden, if you start your Ghat walk, you will realize that this portion of the ghats are now relatively lesser people. So you will have, you can have your walk in peace. Relatively lesser pilgrims come at this portion of the ghat. Firstly, there is no accessibility. There is a road running parallel, but then there are no parking spots. There are no roads directly coming to the ghats. That's the reason. But as I had mentioned in my earlier blogs, the ghat complexes were never continuous. They were always divided, and they were split into multiple smaller ghat areas. So that's the Jain Ghat. So here is the history written. There are footprints of Lord Parshvanath in this place. Yeah, but there is no dates given. But yes, it is documented history. Now, immediately after this comes the Nishad Raj Ghat. So the Nishad Raj Ghat had been named after the Nishad Raj Mandir, which is over here. Nishad Raj is king. So Nishad Raj is the king of the boat people. So the Nishad community traditionally for hundreds and hundreds of years, maybe even beyond that, has been getting these boats into the river. They know the crossing points. Okay, there is an interesting thing happening. Let me just try to get a vantage point to record this. Okay, that's the cleaning machine in action. There's an intake in the front. I saw two of these machines at Prayagraj, and there is this one over here. I had seen this one earlier over here. It is beautiful. That shows the government efforts to keep the rivers clean. So the cleanliness is visible. However, the problem is that if you see here, people just, they carelessly throw things in the river and pollute them. So the problem is not whether the government is cleaning or not. The problem is when we will stop throwing this trash around. So here are the sanitary workers working early in the morning. But again, if you see, somebody has had their snacks over here and littered the place. So that's about what is to Nishad Raj Ghat. Then there is this Panchakot Ghat. There is some residential area, Prabhu Ghat. I had tried to see these ghats from behind, but there isn't too much. It would have been a beautiful structure one point of time. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the Ghats complex which is behind is the Assi Ghat complex, which finishes at Badoni Tower. But over here, the second Ghat complex begins, the one which we are going to, see. But before that, this is the winter season. Winter season is the time of tourists. So here are the boat people who are, getting their boats painted and repaired. So October, November, this is all maintenance time. This beautiful complex in front of you is the Chet Singh Fort or the palace. There was a king over here who resisted the onslaught of East India Company. So there was a battle over here, he was captured, but then there is also another story behind how he was freed. So once upon a time, this was a beautiful palace overlooking the river. There is one more palace over there, that's Ramnagar Palace, and compared to that, this one is quite diminutive, but it's still impressive. So the palaces have been built in a particular pattern. So there's a viewpoint over there. It's a series of those three shelters which you can see from here, right in front, and these shelters are called chhatris. So the king sits in the central one, and then there are these two viewpoints where the other people sit. And this is the entrance. Now there is nothing inside. I could see once or twice the gate was open, but they said that it is private property, you cannot go inside. But this is a beautiful backdrop for some photography. This place also is the beginning of the Shivala Ghat complex. So there is something interesting about this Ghat complex. I'll just try to take a vantage point to show you guys. Now, since the water level has gone quite down, so this whole area is completely up and visible. I have found this vantage point over here. So basically, if you want to reach, you have to climb from the stairs over there, and then the staircase comes over here. So there is this platform. This is a good viewpoint. You can see the entire stretch of the Ghat from here. Now, while getting down, I saw something very interesting, which recently I met a Vastu expert, and he keeps telling people the one basic thing, that don't clutter up your house with old and broken things. Okay, so here is one best example of how we Indians are very happy to hoard things. So this is an old boat, nobody uses it, it's totally unusable, but instead of destroying it, the boat owner has decided to leave it over here. Okay, so not only it has blocked some space, but it is looking so ugly, and at the ghats where people come to pray, this is too much of negative energy. Okay, so the nature is full of vibrations, frequencies. And then in between the vibrations, you have, like for example, there are shivlings over here. Okay, people come and pray over here. And right next to it is this old boat. Now what happens is, if you're talking about vibrations, then the vibrations of old things, the negative vibrations, they disturb the flow of positive energy. And that results in, disturbing of the harmonic frequencies of the universe. So in your house, if anything is broken, it is not working, just discard it or give it to someone who requires it. Somebody might repair it, clean it, refurbish it and use it, or somebody might even use it as broken because they cannot afford a new and a working thing. But yes, that allows positive energy to flow into your house. So that's the link. I'll provide the link of this very intelligent and learned person, this Guruji, in the description. Now, just behind Shivala Ghat, that's Shivala Ghat over there, just behind this, there's a lot of hotels and residential complexes. So this ghat becomes very active. You can see people are selling these religious articles, and they are taking a bath and performing their rituals over here. So this is one of the last bathing ghats, and then you will come across a series of ghats in the front. But I have seen many tourists come over here, devotees and tourists. There's a beautiful banyan tree at a temple, and this is where they do the Ganga Snan. That's Raja Harishchandra Ghat. There's one temple over here, there's one temple over here, and then the ghat proper is behind. And between these two temples, behind this temple is the cremation ground proper. So this area was in a bad shape for a long time. Now some work has begun, and apparently this is going to be how it finally looks like. Okay, this will be a beautiful corridor for the last rites of people, because this is the cremation ground. And once this comes up, there is one more place over here. This actually belongs to the worship of mysticism and Shakti Puja. So all those people, they sit over there behind in this square during the evening and the night. We are approaching supposedly the most ancient of all the ghats in Kashi, which is the Gauri Kedareshwar Ghat. So this ghat has been named after the temple, which is the Gauri Kedareshwar Mandir, where the Shivling was attempted to be destroyed by Aurangzeb, and he did not succeed, but the destruction marks are still there. So this red building has got a gateway under one of the stairs to go onto the Gauri Kedareshwar lane. So this lane stretches from Harishchandra Ghat till about a little bit ahead, and on the entire lane there are hotels and restaurants which are marked in South Indian languages, because this place is frequented by South Indians. This place is always busy. That's the entrance. This place is always busy. There are two ghat complexes over here. Earlier it was a single one. Now they have split it into two. So that's Kedar Ghat, and that's the Gauri Kedareshwar Mandir. That's a common thing over here. A mother with a child asking for milk. So that's a view of the ghat steps. As I said, it is always crowded. That's the Gauri Kedareshwar Kund. It has been emptied and cleaned. And as I said, this is a very, very busy bathing point. That's the Gauri Kedareshwar Mandir. And it is distinctive in the sense that it has got these red and white patterns alternating. The walk up to the stairs is deliberately made steep so as to provide a good amount of exercise for you to visit the temple, go down and walk back up again. So that's the view of the temple, that's the main gate, and that's the view of the ghat from the top. That's the Gauri Kedareshwar Ghat complex, and after that there isn't too much ghat area to be seen. But imagine this place was it was covered with mud up till that wall. This complete area has been cleared. Massive efforts, and then you have this whole area now ready for the ghat walk. So if you're coming for a ghat walk, the best time of the season is between November to February. This is the time when the weather will be cool, and you won't have a problem with the harsh sun. During the rainy season, of course, it rains, and secondly, there is a lot of humidity. Summer seasons are okay if you are up to it. So now, after that ghat complex behind us, this one, the Gauri Kedareshwar lane, ends up with the another connecting lane, that is Bengali Tola lane. And on that lane, you have a number of beautiful shops and restaurants selling all kind of souvenirs. So somewhere at this point, Chowki Ghat is the dividing line between Gauri Kedareshwar Ghat and the Gauri Kedareshwar lane and the Bengali Tola lane. And the landmark, if you want to start walking on that lane, is the Cycle Swami Ashram. So find that on Google Maps, and I'll give you a link to the map location, and from there you can take your choice. Either you go right towards Gauri Kedareshwar lane, or to the left towards Bengali Tola lane and the Dasashimeva Ghat. Okay, this is a water department treatment plant, and they have some beautiful graphics over here. They repaint them every year just before the Dev Deepavali. The dividing line between red and cream is the Mansarovar Ghat. Now, there isn't too much over here, but there is a Dattatreya Mutt over here, and there is a Narad Ghat. So the legend says that Narad himself installed a shivling over here. That's the banyan tree. At the temple, I used to earlier think it is below the tree, but it is not. There's a gate over there, and the actual temple is here. Now this was one of the ghats which were built by the Peshwas. One of the Maratha kings, Raja Ghat. Okay, yeah, it's the Peshwa's Ghat. And over here, there is a temple in the premises of this Ghat. That would be the temple. And this temple is very, very renowned. And there are a lot of people praying over here, especially during the winters. That's Pindadan. It's the most important religious ritual in the Hindu religion. So those are the Ghat steps. These are the steps where the puja is performed. And this will be the place where the temple entrance is located. So that's the behind entrance. This is the first. That's the Dattatreya Mutt. So that's one place I have to visit whenever I get time in the next few days. So this part of the Ghat walk is very beautiful, because from this point onwards, there isn't too much at Banasarovar Ghat, but from this point onwards, you will find that the Ghat walk becomes interesting. It starts from Raja Ghat, and then over there ahead is the Darbhanga Ghat, and beyond that is the Dasashimeva Ghat. So there is an interesting tri-junction with 4 options. One is you have come from Asi Ghat, so you can stop here at a cafe, beautiful cafe over here, or you climb the staircase which goes towards the Bengali Tola lane. Again, beautiful collections of souvenir shops or saris and food. Then this is going towards the famous Darbhanga Ghat and the Dasashimeva Ghat. So spiritual Ghat walk here, spiritual shopping area this side, including soul food, or a dip in the Ganga river, the 4th option which you can always take. I will definitely choose the Ghat walk. So from here onwards, once we leave Pandey Ghat behind, in fact you can come from here, the Bengali Tola lane, and reach the Pandey Ghat. From here onwards, the walk towards the Dasashimeva Ghat is beautiful. There are some really pretty ghats. The Ghat walk is wonderful. And in the morning time, when I'm saying that the sunlight falls on the Ghat walls, it is really a beautiful sight. A beautifully carved out Ghat walk area. That's the Hotel Sita. It is a 4-story hotel with a view from the top. That's the terrace, and that's the restaurant on the top. This appears to be some kind of residential complex, also converted into hotels, because these hotels would fetch prime rates. Now that's Darbhanga Ghat coming up, one of the beautiful and the well-kept ghats, because it is maintained by a hotel. If you find the ghats of Vashi clean, it is because of the tireless efforts of these people. These are sanitary workers, sometimes working 2 to 3 shifts in a day. And if you find the ghats dirty, that's because the tourists and the local people who litter this place. So there is always a fight going on between these two parties. It is of course the sanitary workers who win. Here it is. Between Darbhanga Ghat and Munshi Ghat, there is a small staircase. It's almost invisible. I mean, you might easily miss it. There's a rat trying to escape. So there are 2-3 viewpoints over here. Okay. So one of the viewpoint is this one. Now this is a bit dangerous because there is no railing over here, but still it is a good viewpoint. The best one is of course there. Standard staircase, but it is under the management of the hotel. And further up, there is entry to this temple. There is a small gate over here, which is a kind of locked. And there is a second viewpoint over here. Now that's hotel premises, private property. But as I said, this one is the best one. It's got places to sit and all. But this one is also better. Of course, if you manage to enter into this temple, I don't know whether it is locked or not. There are some mobile number and timings for that. But this is good enough. This is the first viewpoint. This is the second viewpoint which I showed after Shivala Ghat. And there's a third one coming at Mihir Ghat. So wait for that. So after Darbhanga Ghat, all of a sudden, there is a huge rush of pilgrims at Munshi Ghat. Then there is the Ahilya Bai Holkar Ghat, and immediately followed by the Dashashimeva Ghat. Heavy rush of pilgrims. Okay, this is a really crowded place. The only time this goes into peace and quiet is midnight, but till about late evening there is a steady stream of devotees coming here. So you can see here there are pandits, there are pandas, there are boat people, there are shopkeepers, there are cafes, restaurants, like this tiny cafe next to a temple. So there you see all around. Now these priests can do all kind of pujas. They receive devotees from all over the India as well as the world, different castes, religion, sects. So, they are quite trained, well versed. Now, though they are sitting on platforms which apparently have a very small table, they will perform all kind of rituals. They'll organize everything for you on just a phone call basis. That's the famous temple over here, after which the ghat is named, the Dashashimeva temple. Again, a series of pandits. That's interesting. There are 3 layers of priests, and there are flower sellers over here. All this is quite well organized. So this is the beginning portion of Dasashmeva Ghat. It splits into 2 parts. One portion is here, and on this portion there is a Ganga Aarti which is done over here during the evening. %100% eco-friendly. If you thought this portion of Dasashmeva Ghat was busy, wait till you see this. Absolutely rush. This temple was completely submerged. Now it is ready in all its glory. So as you can see, just about everything is found over at these ghats, except for maybe if you're looking for peace and quiet. For that you have to come either very, very early morning or late night. That's a mundan going on of a baby. Very, very spiritual and auspicious. I better take this route because below there it is too crowded. So Ganga Snan is a very important ritual for Hindus. They do it at any place in Ganga, but the most sacred is the one which is done at Kashi. Now why bangles? Because after the Snan, the most important ritual is Shringar. So the women of India, they believe in Shringar a lot. So immediately after taking a bath, they like to dress good and look good. So these are the people who have come here, pilgrims. They'll wait here for some people to perform their religious ritual or even a boat tour. And the other part of the group or the families will wait. So this is Man Mandir Ghat, but it is part of the Dasashmeva Ghat complex, which is why one of the staircase goes down here. And over here also you will find a lot of pilgrims doing boat ride or their religious rituals or Ganga Snan. Immediately after Dasashmeva Ghat, next to the Man Mahal Ghat, you have the Dolphin Restaurant. A restaurant with a good view. But that's not the best view. It's blocked from 2 sides. Yes, from there you can see the Dasashmeva Ghat, that's true, but still not 100%. This whole place was covered with mud right up till these railings. And then the water level had risen till that lettering which you see, dolphin. Now that the water level has receded, here is the beautification process going on. So these are the wall artists. They have to do it every year. It's a government contract, and it makes Ghat Walk really, really beautiful. So after Dolphin Restaurant, this is the next place of interest, which is the Tripura Bhairavi Ghat. Now Tripura is a legendary city which was destroyed by Lord Shiva with a single bow and a single arrow, killing all the 3 demons in 3 different cities at one time. There's a story behind it, but the interesting part about this ghat is that if you see this building, it is in a concave shape. and it finishes at Alka Hotel. So this concave shape, whenever you see it, it's definitely an old ghat. So if this building was removed from the scheme of things, then you will have the Man Mandir complex, and then this complete thing was in a concave shape right up till the Mihir Ghat. Now, if you want to see the concave shape, the best option is going and reaching the viewpoint which is right in front, the best viewpoint of Mihir Ghat. So I'll tell you how to reach it. This is Dashashmeva Ghat. You take a short walk towards the Kashi Vishwanath corridor. Actually, I would recommend this is the best way to reach the Kashi Vishwanath temple. You walk down here, you reach the ghats, there is a Ganga door over there, and you make entry from that side. So that's Tripura Bhairavi Ghat, the steps of the ghat. So once you come at this point, there is a staircase which leads up the ghats of that staircase is called Mihir Ghat, and that's Alka Hotel, the best view what you can get, because it is an unobstructed three-sided view. And from Mihir Ghat, you climb up the stairs, which will take you to the viewpoint. That's the viewpoint. And if you want to know why I was excited about all this thing, that's the view what you get from here. Absolutely beautiful view of the river. You can see Manikarnika Ghat and the tilted temple right from here. And over here, you can also see the Ganga Aarti. That's the concave shape. Somewhere ahead, you can see a dividing line where the vendors are located. There's a temple exactly on top, which you can see from here, a red colored temple. That is the Lalita Ghat temple, or the Nepali temple, or it is also called Pashupatinath temple, because it is made on the same lines. There is a massive bell on the top of the temple. There's a beautiful banyan tree. And from there, you get a very good view of this complete place. In fact, from there, you can also click pictures of the ghat. That is the Manikarnika Ghat in front. But it's now fenced. There is some construction work going to come up over there. That's the Ganga Dwar in the front. That's the beginning of the Kashi Vishwanath corridor. There is a heavy security presence over here. That's the viewpoint. So people are allowed to come till the viewpoint, but again the security personnel are very strict. This place is lit up at night. And the sun now, which is somewhere over here, it takes a curvature, it moves along this path, and it sets somewhere over here behind this tree. And this entire area is flooded in a golden glow. So the sunset scene is the best over here. So there are two entrances. One entrance is from here. You can see there are these three gates where people are coming out. You climb up on top and then take a right turn towards the Kashi Vishwanath complex. The left turn takes you to the Nepali temple. There is no other entrance from down below. And this is the third entrance, that is the Ganga Dwar. I want to do a time-lapse video over here, but let's see if I am able to get a good view from this portion. So I'll be clicking two videos. One I'll take it from here, the portion place where I'm standing, and the one I'll go on top and take it from there. This dog is obstructing my view. He will also be obstructing the view of this place. So let me see. This isn't exactly a vantage point, but I can try from this portion. After Ganga Dwar, it is time to move ahead towards our final destination, that is Namo Ghat. It's still quite far away from here. And with these stopovers, which I take for photography and clicking pictures, videos and all, though it's going to take a very long time. I won't even tell you what time I have started, so as to speak. Now that's Ganga Dwar, and this is Kashi Vishwanath corridor. Now immediately next to it is the Manikarnika Ghat complex. Now this is a huge ghat complex, massive. I mean, if this Ganga Dwar would not have been there, Kashi Vishwanath corridor was developed just recently, but it wouldn't have been there. So this was never the entrance to the ghats. The entrance to the ghat was always the Manikarnika Ghat. So it is a cremation ground, as well as it is one of the most ancient of the temples, and during all the parvas and eclipses and all, it is here that the majority of the rituals are carried out. Now this complete area again was flooded with mud. It is cleaned now. So there are two ways to cross over this ghat complex. One is you take this pathway on top where these people are standing, and behind, and there is this board which shows that there is some kind of renovation going on. That same board we have seen at Harishchandra Ghat. So both the ghats, both the cremation grounds are being renovated at the same time. Now the other pathway is from this side. So when the water level has receded sufficiently, you can continue your ghat walk along this road. Now if you take this path, the advantage of this path is that you totally bypass the cremation ground. Now that's the cremation ground in front, and this ghat requires quite a lot of repairs because it is in a really bad shape. Government is putting a lot of effort, and it will come up good. So that's the ghat. Now that is the Kashi Vishwanath corridor complex, and immediately after that is this cremation ground. About mysticism, there are two places. One is the Harishchandra Ghat, which I had covered, and I had made a short video clip over there. The second one is over here. I have recently discovered it. Now the access way to this place is not just straightforward because this place is supposed to be like that. So over here, this is the part of the ghat which has just been uncovered because of the water level receding. If you take this path here, it's not walkable. I mean, most of the people take the path over there below the temples and between these two temples. But if you take this path, it's not that clean also. So from here, this is the place where Shakti Puja is done at night especially. So a lot of priests over here come and sit in their black robes, especially in the night, late night. There's fire burning and all that thing. So this is mysticism, at best what you know. So this complete area is getting renovated. There is a lot of construction work going on. It got halted in between because of the water levels reaching at alarming heights. And this is the actual Manikarnika Ghat. Yeah, this is what it looks like. There's a temple over there on each of the portions, and that's an ancient temple over here. So talking about Manikarnika Ghat, it's a cremation ground, but then there are these three main temples over here, right at Manikarnika Ghat. This is one. There are a twin temple complex over here. One is made by a very renowned person from the state of Amethi, and this one has been made by a person from the state of Ajmer. Amethi, Ajmer, 2 A's. And that's one temple over here. So Manikarnika Ghat is, though it is known as the burning ghat or the cremation ghat, but for Hindus, they come here for all their puja and rituals. So it's an intense activity going on over here. There are priests sitting over here who are performing the pujas. And if you see, it's very, very crowded. There you see pilgrims and devotees here in large numbers. So Manikarnika Ghat complex along with the Sindhya Ghat complex. Now Sindhya Ghat complex was divided into a separate ghat, but it would have been a part of the same ghat complex. I have made a video earlier over here of a very young priest. He is almost a boy, but his pronunciation and religious rituals are supreme. So that's Manikarnika Kund. And right in front, contiguous to this ghat, is the Sindhya Ghat. So that's a white cow, which is considered very holy over here for the religious rituals. And that's the famous tilted temple. Now this temple is very, very popular over here with Instagrammers. It is considered to be one of the most photographed temple in Kashi. So as I mentioned in my earlier videos, this temple appears only for a few months in a year, say from December to maybe May, June. In fact, it will take the whole of December for this water level to completely recede and go down. I mean, the water level really goes down to a lot of extent. And the tilt of this temple is noticeable, but there is a mystery surrounded it as to where the tilt has come from. There is the Dattatreya Paduka Mandir. So Dattatreya is revered in Maharashtra. And to add on to the tilt factor, there is another structure over here which is as mysterious as this one, which is again tilted. So here is the tilt. It's very pronounced. That's the temple, but a lot of mud has gone inside and it requires cleaning. Even this temple was submerged under mud. Now it has been cleaned and it is freshly painted. And that's Sindhya Ghat. So the Manikarnika Ghat complex, which is right in front, and this is the Sindhya Ghat, which would have been a complete single ghat complex. Again, if you see, the shape is concave. Now over there in front of you is the Sindhya guest house, which is a very popular destination for pilgrims, providing affordable accommodation at a very reasonable rates. Now from this point onwards, this is a kind of cutting edge, and from here the next ghat complex comes up is Panchaganga. But in between these, there are some smaller ghats, which again are built by the Marathas, but they are they are not exactly ghats, but more of residences or palaces. Okay. Now these constructions were designed as a palace. So if you see this one, it's like a huge 2-3 bastions, and then there's an open courtyard on which some construction has come up. People have made residences to stay, and then this is the Bhosle Ghat, where again the same kind of thing is visible. So there are these two palace-like rooms Maybe they might have been made by the kings of Nagpur as their official vacation residence. And then here is the Panchaganga Ghat complex right in front of us, and you can see the Alamgiri Masjid on the top. Now, Bhosle Ghat is the beginning of the ghats, along with Manikarnika and Sindhya Ghat. Right up till Dasashmeva Ghat was built by the Marathas. Completely on the top floor is the residential area. These must be the caretakers of this place, and they must have, that's another mysticism worship. I'll not go closer. So next to Bhosle Ghat is the Guleria Ghat. It's named after the Kothi, which is the Guleria Kothi, and it is a beautiful hotel, restaurant, cafe, whatever you want to say. And the area in front of this ghat is also quite well maintained. So this place is especially attractive during winters, where you can sit here outside during the late mornings and then enjoy a cup of coffee and a beautiful view of the river. Now that spot where this couple is standing also provides you a good viewpoint to see both Bhosle Ghat as well as the Panchaganga Ghat complex. Panchaganga Ghat complex. The ghat itself is a little bit in the front, but these ghats are a part of that complex. So it starts from here, Jatar Ghat. Before that there is this Ram Ghat. And I just found out that there is a Khandova temple in this premises, which I have to find out now. So Khandoba, Mangala Gauri, these all are Marathi deities. Namaskar. And thank you. This is Raja Gwalior Ghat, and then Saath mein there is Jatar Ghat. And this is the most wonderful place, Balaji Ghat. So Panchaganga Ghat is marked over here. Now why that is important is because there are 3 temples in this complex. This is the first one. Now this gate is opened only in the morning time. There is a second temple inside this, which is the Pataleshwar Mandir. And then there is Balaji temple over here. And then of course if you climb the stairs further, you come out at Mangala Gauri. So 4 temples in a row. And I have to take this path. This guy is hanging to dry a typical garment called langot, which is an undergarment, and it used to be very popular in ancient India. It still is. You can see one hanging over there. Now this is the behind portion of the Bindu Madhav temple complex, which was not destroyed. So I think the people, those who maintained the temple, the priests and all, they were staying in this residential complex. That's the rear portion of Balaji Ghat, the palace. So Kartik month is getting over, so all these baskets have been brought down. That's Panchaganga Ghat, and that is Sri Math. Now that is the Bindu Madhav temple, which is now converted into a mosque, Alamgiri Masjid. So from there, the series of steps, and this wouldn't have been there, this structure. So from there, there were massive series of steps right up till these ghats. And this was one of the most majestic of all the temples of Kashi. But it is now destroyed partially, and it is occupied by a mosque. Now, this Panchaganga Ghat complex here, that is the official notice board, has got a series of these steep staircases. Okay. The staircases are really, really steep, really. So, my final run for this Ghat walk for today is going to be one of these staircases. So my favorite one is the one which leads towards the Alamgiri courtyard, and then further it goes towards the Mangala Gauri temple. So that's the the Mangala Gauri temple is through this path. That's also quite steep, but this is also equally steep. So that door is opened only in the morning time. So maybe whenever I reach here in the morning, Now this is the main Kanchenjunga Ghat complex. So I can see there are steps over here. There are slots made over here for people to sit and do their prayers. And there are all these priests and all over here, boats, everything, all the paraphernalia. So from here, this is the place where I take my run up. I do want to try the Mangla Gauri staircase, but it is a little winding from left and right. So for the time being, this is the best option. Look at this dog, at peace and quiet. That's Brahma Ghat. Behind that is Durga Ghat. These two ghats, along with the Panchganga Ghat complex, was built by the Marathas. So this is the last of the ancient Ghat complexes. And from here, the Ghats series till Namo Ghat is all modern. Now there are a couple of interesting Ghats en route. So what the government has done is they have tried to, reduce the load of the pilgrims coming to the main Ghats towards these Ghats. So they have made broad Ghats, good parking spaces and easily accessible roads. So first is the Namo Ghat, which is more of a tourist attraction rather than a religious destination. It's a huge park with a lot of evening entertainment facilities for families. But after that is the Rani Ghat. 1 minute, it's not Rani Ghat, it is, I'll come to that, I'm not getting the name now. So that ghat has got a huge platform, it has got staircase, it has got a place to conduct a cultural program. So the government has made a lot of effort to push these ghats as alternates, and the pilgrims have started coming. There is one particular ghat which is the Gai Ghat over there. The Ganga Aarti has also started. So all those places we are going to see en route. The only worry is that there is 40% battery remaining in my GoPro, and I hope that I'm able to reach Namo Ghat before the battery runs out. Now, to give you an estimate as to what is the kind of ghat walk which you should expect. I started in the morning at around 7 o'clock. Between 7 to 8 o'clock I was getting ready. I was traveling to the destination, parking my car, walking down to the ghat number 1 and 2. So you can take 8 o'clock. That was my starting point. And now it is closer to 12 o'clock. So that means 4 hours. Okay, these 4 hours included stoppages at the various ghats, doing some kind of photography and continuously shooting videos. Now I'm using a GoPro with the media mod and the traveler's kit, or what is called as the combo. So there is a battery grip which holds the GoPro, and it also gives you a media mod, but however I'm using an external battery. Now by continuously charging the GoPro, I have exhausted the media mod, that is the battery handle, as well as now I am reached 40%. So that means it will be only in the end that I'll see how much total time I have captured, but GoPro with the battery pack easily gives you around 4 hours of recording. Yeah, it won't be continuous because at some point of time the battery will start overheating and the GoPro will switch off automatically once it gets overheated. But that's about that. So today that's Namo Ghat in the front and the far distance beyond the bridge. So I'm already running in the orange zone of the battery. Now my battery settings, my GoPro settings are for full performance. I'm shooting at 5.3K in cinematic mode, and the color is set at vibrant. The bitrate is whole 10-bit, and there is sharpness also. So all these settings also add on to the battery drainage. So if you want to conserve battery, you can almost reach 2 times of this. That is, you can easily go for around 8 hours with 4K settings. Sharpness set to low, color is neutral or natural, and there is another setting, bitrate high. So if you put a low bitrate, you will be able to take out enough juice from the battery so that you can run it for 8 hours. I have not tried it, but one fine day I'm going to do it.
when I start exploring the inside of the city, because today's target was the Ghat Walk from Assi to Namo Ghat. And I have realized that the GoPro has not been able to sustain me. But that also included the activities in the middle, which I shot some reels. I also shot some time warp footage. So all that included, that has taken the battery life. So now we are coming towards Gai Ghat. These are all couple of ghats in between, all beautifully constructed, well maintained. And there are people staying over here. They are all old houses, mostly bordering on the region of slums. Normally the Ghat Walk is of 27 minutes. That's fast from one end to another if you're just moving in a direction without stopping anywhere. I might have to pick up my walking speed because I can already see some orange in my battery levels, which means very soon it is going to turn red and thereafter it will just shut down. So I hope this battery sustains me till Namo Ghat, which also means I'll have to walk a little faster now. So that's the beautiful Gai Ghat. It's really, really attractive, and I am very excited to see it in the evening. Ganga Aarti settings. There are a couple of vantage points over here. There's one over there from which I could take a shot of the whole scene. This again is a beautiful ghat complex. There are these lights. Oh, the lights are on in the daytime. That's your sheer wastage. So these lights are pointed towards the inside, that is towards the buildings. So it gives a very good view. There are all boats lined up over here. They'll be out in the evening. Now that's a responsible tourist in the front. If you would have noticed, she is dropping the waste in the dustbin. The bridge is quite a still distance away. I am walking as fast as I can, my legs can permit. The Ghat Walk here is not straight. It is ups and downs. So there is climbing up and climbing down. These are the rest of the ghats. So that's Naya Ghat, which I was not getting the name. I think I should take these stairs over here to avoid the up and down movement. Yeah. Interestingly, the Ghat Walk provides a lot of up and down movement so that you can exercise. That's a good way to make someone move. Yeah, there it is. People are naturally exercising over there. Oh, so that's a surprise. That's the machine. The people have come to take a break or a lunch break. It's a very daunting work because at this time of the day, the sun is really out in the open, beating down on their necks. There's some sort of shelter, but yes. This could also be the discharge point where all the waste collected is then later dumped over here, and then it is taken out to the dumping ground. My battery is still in the orange zone, which means that there is still time. There is not too much of a time, but there still is. These stairs have been repainted, of course, for the Dev Deepavali, which happened around a couple of weeks back. My battery indicator is going to turn red very soon. This is Gola Ghat, followed by the Naradeshwar Ghat. My battery as well as the storage both have gone into the red zone. So if you go for high settings, that is 5.3K and all the other settings high, you can get 4 hours of recording time with pauses in between from your GoPro along with the media mod and the battery handle. So I am really nearing to the end of my battery, and even the storage has gone into red, and towards the far distance I can see the bridge and the Namo Ghat, and before that there is Naya Ghat. So this is going to be the last stretch of recording. So now I have to see how far the luck is on my side. Let me start moving a little faster now that I know that everything is gone into the red. I have never really tried out the 4K settings. Halaki, it's really interesting if I go for 4K. See, first of all, 4K and 24 frames per second means that I go into cinematic mode. Right now I'm going for 50 frames per second to get a more smooth effect when I'm panning. So I can go for 24 frames per second. That is straight away half the number of frames. So half the file size. And from 5.3K, if I come down to 4K, 4K is actually what is the settings of the YouTube. So if I go down to 4K, and if